Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am here with one of my favorite astrologers, Karen with Little Blue Lotus Astrology, and we're going to be talking about something really important because these eclipses, if you don't know anything about eclipses, well, guess what? They're important. And it doesn't matter if you know too much or too little about it. You're going to learn a little bit right now, but we're going to be talking about these eclipses and how they're going to affect the United States and their potential to literally topple the leadership of the United States. I've been saying I feel change. I think he's out. Well, guess what? Now I have somebody who's a real professional who's here to tell us why he's going to be out and what are the energies that are going to push him out. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. I'm always happy to be on your show. It's
Thank
great.
you.
I love your
Yes, vice versa.
subscribers.
Yes, my subscribers are amazing. And so my subscribers, please go over to Karen's YouTube channel. She has a YouTube channel, Little Blue Lotus Astrology, right? You can check out her website, littlebluelotus.org, but her YouTube is Little Blue Lotus Astrology. Now she does readings. She's a crowd favorite, literally probably one of the record views that I've had on my channel has been one of our last videos that we did together. So because she describes astrology in such a way that is so accessible for people. And I just love the way she sees the energy of astrology, how she explains it. And so she's going to talk to us about September 21st, but also September 7th. These are the big dates for the eclipses. So tell us what you think is going to happen or why you think it's going to happen.
Okay. Well, the lunar eclipse is coming up on the 7th, and lunar eclipses are generally, they kind of bring events to a close. They are endings of some kind. They're like a full moon on steroids or a super powerful full moon. And if they don't hit your chart in a very sensitive place, then, you're looking around going, what eclipse? While other people are falling, things are happening to them. But if it's hitting you in a sensitive place, it's going to bring an end to something. It's going to bring a revelation to you that maybe you didn't look at in a certain way, but now you can see it more clearly. The light of the moon is going to reveal things. So the moon is emotional, though. The moon is eternal. Internal, I'm sorry. And I looked at, the other thing that a lunar eclipse can do is speed up timelines.
What are you talking about now? Why don't you tell me this stuff when we're backstage? I got like 1,000 questions now. Okay, well, wait, before you go on, tell them because Karen is booked for like the rest of the year, you guys. This woman is kind enough to come on here and help us out, but literally she is booked. But so tell us so you just told people, hey, these eclipses could impact your chart. If they were to get a free chart, you would have to know your birth time. This is the way it is. So you have to know your day of your birth and the time of your birth. You can get a free chart anywhere on the internet. Just put in that information. It'll spit out a chart. And then is there a way that they could find out? I mean, how could they find out about these eclipses?
Well, the lunar eclipse is in 15 degrees Pisces.
Okay, hold on. So it's 15 degrees Pisces, you guys. When you get your chart, you're going to look up the little symbol for Pisces, and then you're going to see what degree it is, and you're going to see what house it is or
Right,
what
house
sign it's in.
If it's in Pisces, Virgo, or Sagittarius, or Gemini, if you've got a planet around 15 degrees, then this eclipse will be showing you something about that issue with that particular planet. A
And
relationship.
so if you have sun sign Pisces, Virgo, or what was the other one?
Gemini or Sagittarius.
Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, or Sagittarius. If you have a sun, moon, or rising, does it affect those people?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
heck.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, thank God I know some good astrologers. Okay, so you guys hopefully rewound and wrote that down. If you're one of those signs, this could illuminate something in your life, right? It could speed up your timeline in some way.
It could
or it
end
could
something.
end something, right?
Hmm?
And this is not what you always want to know about any reading, whether it's astrology or psychic or mediumship, or I don't care what it is. You have the power. Nothing is happening, nothing is hitting you. You have the power to say, okay, I think I'm feeling this ending, Susan and Karen. Like I'm feeling it because I'm sick and tired of my work, right? Or I'm
Hmm.
sick and tired of being out of shape, or I'm sick and whatever it is. So
Hmm.
now you can take action. You don't have to sit and wait for the universe to, to take action. You
Exactly.
can take action.
Right. These are always opportunities to evolve. These are always opportunities for growth. And as humans, generally we experience those as ouchies. But if we, calm down and look at it, we see that, oh, okay, this is a door opening for me to get more free, to get more authentic, to be more true to myself. So that's what a lunar eclipse is going to do. It can bring a fated event into your life, like meeting
You
a
could meet
person.
that person.
Hmm.
You could get that
Absolutely.
job.
Get that job, meet that person, make that connection. Um, we don't want to make big decisions around a lunar eclipse because if the lunar eclipse is hitting us in one of those sensitive parts in our chart, we tend, the moon has to do with our emotions. So it stirs up emotions and it makes it's just common sense not to make an important decision when you're really emotional about something. You got to wait till you see where the dust settles and go from there. But I looked at the United States chart for the lunar eclipse and what it was activating or what it was starting to activate is the planet Saturn in the United States chart in the 10th house. Now, Saturn is leadership, authority figures, responsibility, karma. The 10th house is pretty much the same thing.
What is the 10th house?
The 10th house in the United States chart has to do with responsibility, authority, authority over other countries, authority over the people that the United States rules. And the way the lunar eclipse is activating the Saturn in the United States chart is not a very happy energy exchange. It's called an inconjunct. An inconjunct is very stressful. It doesn't connect the energies very well. It sometimes, if in a personal chart, it might bring an illness, but in the United States chart, standing up to oppression, when you've got the moon in conjunct Saturn, standing up to oppression, accepting responsibility, taking risks, wanting to be recognized, wanting to be mature, wanting to get approval from critical authority figures like Putin, and a concern about betrayal. When you've got the moon in conjunct Saturn, that person, that leader is concerned about betrayal. So this is building, this energy is building up to the 7th of September. It's been building for the last couple weeks. So since he's the leader of the country, this is affecting Trump, concern about betrayal, paranoia.
Yes.
In his chart, it's doing, this is the lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse is much more powerful. Whoa, it's a doozy. Um, in Trump's chart, the lunar eclipse is making another inconjunct in his chart. Again, inconjunct is very stressful. A development of compassion. Is he going to? No.
No.
He's challenged to stop trying to impress people. Is he going to stop? No.
No.
A need to win approval? No. But what will happen is overly emotional, inappropriate expressions. I mean, he's just going to keep losing it until somewhere somebody's going to have a camera on him and we're going to be like, what the is going on with this guy? So that's what's happening in his chart. The other thing that's happening in his chart for the lunar eclipse, and this I thought was boom, it's squaring his moon south node in the fourth house from the seventh house. Now, the seventh house in your chart, my chart, the United States chart is marriage partners, business partners, the public. So in the United States chart, it would be the public, and also open enemies. Now, sometimes all those things are the same, but for Trump, this lunar eclipse, this lunar energy is female energy, guys. And it's squaring his moon in the south node in Sagittarius in the fourth house. Now, the south node in moon conjunct Sag in his fourth house. Let's look at the lowest ways we can manifest Sagittarius energy, which is sloppy, which is careless, which is bombastic, which is arrogant. Uh, excuse me. And it's how he treats women because it's next to the moon. Confrontation, emotional, intense confrontation with women. When are those Epstein survivors going to be going on camera? The 3rd
Oh
of
my God.
September. I thought, bingo. That's his chart.
In the middle of all that,
In
the
the middle of all
Epstein
that.
survivors are going to be out there. Open enemies. I mean, he's
Open
got so
enemies.
many open energy enemies. I was just seeing Tish James when you said that, right? And the thing about these eclipses is like she said, the energy starts before the eclipse and it lasts after the eclipse. The energy can actually last, I think, up to 6 months after the eclipse. Is that correct? So
Absolutely.
it's not like if this doesn't happen on the 7th, it didn't happen, or it doesn't happen on the 20th. That does not mean anything. It means that it didn't happen at the exact crisis point, but the energy is still active.
Right. I heard an astrologer recently call eclipses landmines. And I thought that was really interesting because
Wow.
you plant the landmine and then something, a planetary aspect will trigger the landmine. And you're like, where the hell did this come from? And but one of my teachers called eclipses branding irons. It's like a branding iron. If it's hitting your chart in a certain place that's sensitive, it's like a branding iron. And that's major. That's significant. Very significant.
It's something that never goes. I mean, it's indelible. It's there in your
Right.
life for the rest of your life.
Right.
That went away. That came in. Let's remember, there's good and bad, you guys. It's not all bad.
Mhm.
You know, there's fate. There's fate that can happen that can bring people to you or bring beautiful things
Oh,
to
yeah,
you.
absolutely. I know you like the story of my my ex-husband that had a solar eclipse on his sun, on his birthday, in the second house of his wealth, and one of his stocks that he had purchased recently exploded, and all of a sudden he was a multimillionaire. And that was the eclipse for him.
Right. So you see, you guys, that it's not all bad. It
It's
really
not all bad.
it depends on what it's activating in your chart, where it falls in
Mhm.
your chart.
Mhm.
So yeah, very interesting. So tell me about, are we ready to move on to the
Sure.
solar
Mhm.
eclipse? Because that's when things get really spicy, you guys.
They get really spicy. The solar eclipse is September 21st. It's in 29 degrees of Virgo. We've
See,
talked
this
about,
just all makes me worry because this is all my planet. These are my signs. And I know I'm gonna have to talk to you because I know you told me apparently nobody's worried about me because nobody's sending SOS signals to me. So it must be okay.
no, I think you're fine.
Yeah, see, there you go, you guys. And it's
It's,
lighting up my chart like Vegas,
yeah, it's
honestly.
lighting up my chart too. And you just read for me and you didn't see anything bad. So,
No, right. So that's what I'm saying. It's not, but it is scary for Trump, y'all.
yeah, very scary for him and very unsettling for the United States.
And a little unsettling, yeah.
So, but a solar eclipse is new beginnings, new opportunities, significant changes, new projects, a new phase in your life, um, significant times of change, karmic shifts, stirring past life themes,
Mhm.
soul contracts, emotional patterns ready to heal. Here's what I like. A solar eclipse, if it's hitting you somewhere special, it's a cosmic doorway. The
Nice.
cosmic doorway. So knowing about this ahead of time gives you the opportunity to take a running start if you're getting a cosmic doorway in your chart, like you are and I am, and maybe many of you guys.
Maybe many of you guys.
So in the
Check
United
on us. Y'all check on us in October because we're going to be on through
yeah,
the
we'll be,
cosmic doorway. Well, just see what happens.
yeah, see if we survive. How many wounds? So karmic shifts. So in the United States chart, it's at the very top of the United States chart. That is a very karmic placement for us as well as the country. 29 degrees means that something has been building for a long time. And this is like a finale kind of energy. The
Because
top of
the end is 30. The end is 30. That's why
end is 30,
29.
right?
That's why 29 is so important. The end is 30, right?
Yeah,
So we're, like she
don't
said,
go
building
past
to the
30.
finale.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's okay. That's a good addition. So the cusp of the 10th in all of our charts is a very karmic place. It also has to do with authority, responsibility, leadership. And in our charts, it has to do with whether we're in charge of our own lives. If we've got something going on in the 10th house, it's like it'll highlight, are we in charge of our lives?
Mm.
For instance, I have a niece that has some mental disabilities. I think she's on the spectrum. And my sister had shielded her whole life. I've talked to you about this, Susan. And a couple years ago, my sister got really ill, and my niece had to start making decisions about medical stuff for her mom, paying bills, dealing with credit cards, something she'd never done in her life. We had eclipses that year that were in her 10th house. She had to take responsibility for herself. She had to be her own authority because her authority figure was virtually gone. So, 10th house, the United States has authority over other countries, it has authority over its citizens. We have a 29-degree Virgo solar eclipse within 2 degrees of that point. Within 2 to 3 degrees of that point is a very, very karmic, powerful, significant energy. So we not only have that, we also have the Mars, the transiting Mars in the sky in 29 degrees Libra, squaring, which is stressful, pushing a lot of energy, but very stressful energy, to the Pluto in the United States chart.
Okay, so hold on. So Mars is sometimes the god of war, but he's, action, a lot of action,
Yep.
a lot of heat, fire, whatever.
Mhm.
Libra balancing. You can
Yep.
think about the balancing of the
Justice, right?
scales. So you
Hmm.
have the god of war pushing on Libra, who's saying, let's balance. We need to
Hmm.
balance. Libra's like, everything has got to balance.
And justice. It's all
And
about
justice,
justice,
right? Like in this, and
fairness.
you can understand how this is going.
Hmm.
Now tell us about, and so they're squaring, they're not getting
Yeah.
along. So then the
Mhm.
Pluto, tell me about Pluto.
Well, Pluto is masses of people and also domination, control, ruthlessness. You put those two planets together, even if it's a person's chart, and
Mars and
I'm
Pluto,
warning them about going into bad neighborhoods because they could get mugged. But in the United States chart, the Pluto is masses of people, and
right,
it's also ruthless kind of activity.
right.
Masses of people that are moving towards, hey, they're at the critical blow point now.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
And so you put those two volatile planetary energies together, and you've got ruthlessness, domination, control, trying to keep a lid on a boiling pot that the lid's just going to blow.
No, it's going to overpower the Libra energy.
Yeah.
Um, so, but I see that, and I don't know how you see it, but I see it as almost revolutionary energy of
Yes.
the people. That's what I've been telling you guys. These once these maybe they're MAGA, maybe who I don't know, they're just people who've been checked out or whatever.
Hmm.
They're really activated, and I feel like those people. So I feel like it's the people rising up against the
Yes.
authority, the authoritarian, whatever. And then, at the top of the chart, she just said, right, like we've got all these
Change
things
in
going
leadership.
on from the
Yeah.
lunar eclipse, right?
Right.
Um, So do you see it as that, or do you see the government coming down to the people, or you think it's a combination of all the above?
I think it's a combination of all the above, but we have to remember that the planet Pluto in the United States chart is in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is authority. Capricorn is rigid and structured and going, oh, no, 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 you're not going to break the law. You're not going to do what I'm telling you not to do because I want to come down harder, faster, and more. I will ruin you. So we have to remember that one of the key things that happened in the American Revolution was we rioted over tea.
I know, I
Attacks
know,
on tea,
I
folks.
know, right, right, right.
You
Yeah,
remember your
yeah,
your high school history.
right.
So yeah, people are ready. People are ready to go in the streets. People that weren't ever going to go to the streets are going to go to the streets. And I think with Mars and Pluto together like that, that's a recipe for violence. That's a recipe for some bloodshed. Now maybe it's one karmic incident, or maybe it's several. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a recipe for violence. But to go back to the eclipse of the 10th house cusp, remember, solar eclipses changes and new beginnings, a new beginning and a change in our leadership. What's happening with President Trump? Everybody, you're not seeing too much in the news, oddly enough, but on YouTube, everybody's talking about his health. And in his chart, the solar eclipse is forming what we call I'm sorry, not a T-square, a grand cross or a grand square. In a chart that's planets here, planets here, planets here, planets here, and everything is squared each other or opposed each other. That, if you've had to live through something like that in your life, that's very difficult. The energy is running around the edges of the square, can't go anywhere, so it builds. It builds and builds and builds. These women, these riots, his health, it's aspecting his sun, it's aspecting his moon, it's aspecting his rising sign. The rising sign has to do with the body, it has to do with the head. It's
Hmm.
this is like too much, way too much pressure. This is somebody that, as my grandfather used to say, blows a gasket. Just the veins can't take it, the heart can't take it, the vascular system in the brain can't take it. It just blows. Now, it's interesting to me that in his chart, it also aspects the Mercury in his chart, and Mercury is our speaking ability, our articulation. And you've been talking about, and I think I even was on your show at one point and we were saying, yeah, I'm seeing him not able to speak. He
Yeah,
opens his mouth and there's just garbled
yeah, gibberish.
gibberish coming out. And he's not even really able to write because
We've seen that, trapped in his own body. If you guys are
trapped in
looking
his
for
own body.
karma, if you're looking for justice, come
Yeah,
on, you guys. That's justice, to be trapped in your body. Somebody like him, that is so vitriolic and he can't speak.
yeah,
I don't think that's something anybody would ever want to
no,
experience, right? So I
no.
think that this is playing out. If he's lucky, it would be a blessing for him to just check out,
To
right?
check out, yeah.
But it could be that there's this other, and that might be the malingering I kept getting, right?
Uh-huh.
Which means shirking work, or just not doing what you're supposed to be doing. But that
Yeah,
could be what he's doing right now, honestly.
right, right. Well, yeah, how many times does he golf? And he hasn't
Yeah.
golfed in weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't been very visible.
No, he hasn't golfed. I don't think he
I
can
don't
golf.
I think so. I think September is gonna, so if we go into that energy, you talked about the violence, and the guides kept talking for the longest time about power vacuums, right? So if you
Hmm.
take out, if he were to exit to the great hamburger restaurant in the sky, or if he's just, spewing gibberish out and they're trying to keep him in the back, because that's another thing I saw was
Hmm.
Weekend at Bernie's, where they just put him away and
Hmm.
pretend like everything. And I really saw that they would consider using a body double, you have that, but there's something that I feel like has to happen to trigger. Maybe it's the lunar eclipse that
Uh-huh.
something breaks, like the grid breaks,
Right.
or something goes down that it's the last straw. Like it's,
Right.
we never
Right.
know what the last straw is, right? Like you can put up with so many things and people would think, my God, you should have already broken 1,000 times.
Hmm.
And then some seemingly small thing happens and you lose it, right? So that's what I think could happen is around that time. It's just
Well, yeah, the Epstein survivors. I'm thinking that Putin could leak something. You mentioned
yes,
that in
I've
one of
seen
your
that too.
videos
Yeah,
recently,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like,
Foreign
he is
country.
so angry. He is so angry at him for reneging on all of his contracts with Putin that he's going to be like, yeah, okay, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And when he met with the fake Putin, but he came
Hmm.
back looking ashen.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
he looked like he had seen his own ghost, right? And I think that that's
So
what
what do
happened.
you think happened? Do you think Putin was the real Putin had like a Zoom with them in the room with the fake Putin, and that's why he came out looking like that? And
I feel like he was
Caroline
given
Levitt came out.
I feel like he was given something to look at, like pictures
Okay.
or to me it was physical. There's a reason they needed a real person to meet with him in private to give him something,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Because that Zoom could have just why even have the whole
Okay,
thing
so somebody
happen,
showed
right?
him a folder and
Yes, and
said,
said you can't deny
we're
this,
gonna
and we
put these
have it, and
pictures
we're
on every TV in the United States. Yeah.
yes, yes, that's something I have seen. Yes. So it's not the thing about energy is that it can it's like water. It can you have a
Hmm.
leak actually over there, but the water's coming way over there because water
Hmm.
travels. So this energy can manifest in many different ways. But the bottom line is that the pressure is like all these screws are screwing into this one
Hmm.
point, which is him. And you said something about his rising sign.
Hmm.
Which did you say is Cancer or no?
Trump's rising sign is Leo.
Leo. So you said something about the rising sign, and that's how people see you. And he's going to have problems with how people see him. That's also going to be challenged. Is it doesn't matter if it's true or not. People are going to start to see him in a new way,
Yes.
which I think is going to just make him lose his.
Oh, make him lose his stuff. Yeah. But that started a while back when I saw, and I think I talked about this on your show, may have talked about it on my show, but the transiting Saturn was squaring something in his chart. And I thought, okay, well, if this is a person, it means that people that normally love this person are falling out of love with them. And I thought, the MAGAs, the MAGAs are falling out of love with Trump. And this started some months ago.
And it's been building.
It's been building.
It's been building. And you also picked up betrayal energy. And I have a whole
Yes,
video with the title
you've
Betrayed.
talked about that.
I've
Yep.
always seen him at two, Brutus, right? Like,
Yeah.
you too, you're going to stab me too, right? Like, I've
Mhm.
always seen him being betrayed. He doesn't realize it until it's too late.
Right, right. And we might not look at it as a betrayal when it happens, but he's certainly going to see it that way.
Yes.
I thought you and I had a deal. Come on.
Yeah, right. Well, he betrayed. Putin feels like he got betrayed, right?
It's going to be really spicy, really, really spicy. But, you know, you and I have predicted his end before over the last year, year and a half. And I finally came to the conclusion, and I think you did too, is that America had not learned its lesson until he was in the presidency again. And then everybody had to see it. So that's why he sailed through these things that should have put him in the ground
A
last
long
year,
time ago.
year before. Yeah,
Because he had a purpose. He was fulfilling our
right.
lesson that our Chiron is the wounded healer, right? You taught
Hmm.
me about that with the United States
Hmm.
and how this is us going through our Chiron return. We're going back to learn about which I always talk to you guys about. I learned about this from Karen. We're going back to learn about the things that we founded this country on, which was not good
Genocide.
things, right?
Yeah.
Not good things. So, and also the Constitution was
Mhm.
written when some humans weren't humans. So that I think
Right.
this is all dissolving. This is all of these, and this is all
Mhm.
astrology too. The
Right.
institutions are dissolving right before our eyes.
Right.
News media is dissolving. You see things like Midas touch becoming popular.
I should have added when we were talking about the 10th house cusp of the United States, it's also the 10th house cusp of the United States is also the institutions of the country. The institutions of the country, the Constitution, the Department of Education, the FDA, FEMA, I mean, everything. So this is all new beginnings, but the Pisces was dissolving things. The Saturn in Pisces, the Neptune in Pisces that all of us have been living through the past 2 years, coming to the end of Pisces, dissolve, dissolve, dissolve. And now with the end in sight, looks like, then things can start to be put back together after a certain amount of time. 2026
Right,
is a one
2026, right.
year, and we have wonderful aspects that show that innovative ways of solving problems, not sweeping things under the rug, not doing things the old way. We've got a lot of that energy, planetary energy in 2026. So there's that to look forward to.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's happy. That means we come through this
We do come
intact
through.
as a country, and then we pick ourselves up and we make a better version of it. This is basically the universe saying this, when you made that cake and you put all the stuff in there and you put it in the oven and then it fell, you're like, I
Mhm.
got to start over again, right? My souffle didn't rise, right? We have
Right.
to start over again. But let's talk briefly about the violence. Are we still experiencing that revolution energy of our astrological planets
Oh,
being
yeah.
back in the same place they were during the
Mhm.
American Revolution? So we're experiencing the same kind of flavor of the energy
Right.
again. It's like you put all the yellow lights on all your light bulbs in your house. Everything is
Mhm.
yellow. That's the planets coming back, casting that same kind of light back onto us.
Mhm.
When I go into that energy, it does, I hear the words flashpoint. So I do hear a
Okay.
like and I do get that shot heard around the world, that thing they keep telling me, which is the
Yeah.
famous line from the revolution. So I think there is a flashpoint there, right? So the guides are saying there has to be something that's so big that these oligarchs, these robber barons, they say, Uncle, you win,
Mhm.
right? We
Mhm.
we miscalculated. We didn't realize that you guys were going to be so angry and that you were going to be so there's so many of you,
So
right?
out
Like
of
we
control and so
understand
many of us. Yeah.
we need to make a deal, right? And I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, wasn't it Johnson that met with Dr. Martin Luther King and said,
Mhm.
let's make a deal because this is wrecking our
Yeah.
country. We can't continue like this. I
Mhm.
need peace back in my country, right? That same kind of energy. Now, of course, it's not going to be Trump or Vance because they don't care. They don't care about our country being wrecked. It's going
Mhm.
to have to be somebody who, well, it's going to be a robber baron, but it's going to have to be, they're going to have to be talking to someone who's a
Okay.
potential leader who who can bring us together and can make a deal. That's what I've always seen. So I think this flashpoint that's happening in September, because I really think it's
Mhm.
going to happen in September. I think all the things you've talked about are going to happen in September. I don't think they're going to wait until December because I always told you guys I feel a sigh of relief in October, November.
Yeah.
I went ahead with my event, which Karen is speaking at. Yay! My first
Yay.
astrologer ever at Connect to Empower. I
So
wouldn't have done
honored.
it, you guys. If I thought we were going to be in riots, if I thought, we were going to be in lockdown, obviously I would not have planned this event. And I waited to the last minute because I was talking to my spirit guides. So I
Mhm.
think this is a flashpoint. I think it could be nerve wracking. It could be challenging. It could be scary. A lot like Jan 6 was, right? It
Mhm.
could be something like that. But we get over it. We get on the other side of it because it is so the enormity of it. is not lost on these robber barons. They're like, okay,
Right.
we're not going to make any money.
And I don't know what the flashpoint is. I don't know if it's pictures of naked Trump doing something he shouldn't to a 14-year-old that everybody's gonna
Allegedly.
allegedly see, or
I don't know. It
information about
doesn't,
the election, or I don't know.
it's hard to imagine it. You know, you think to yourself, if my God, the things that have happened so far, if
Mhm.
that's not enough, right? Like, when is it ever
When is
enough?
it
Like,
enough?
I really want to see if you can peer into your astrological crystal ball and see if
Mhm.
you can see if we're going to have an election in 26. Like, or
Okay.
what is the chart say about the Constitution, right?
Okay.
Because that's, look, that to me, 45 is already gone, Vance is gone. I want to know how we get from here to there. How do we get to a new constitution? How do we get to a new version of ourselves, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. I can do, I
Is
can do
that
that.
possible? I mean, the Constitution has a chart, right?
The Constitution probably has a chart. I'm not, I'd have to do some research on it. Excuse me, but the US chart definitely shows major innovations that are like almost unheard of to solve the problems that we're in now, amending the Constitution.
Right. Or a new parties, so
Mhm.
new ways of solving problems. It could be health, it could be wealth, it could be political. It's
Everything
across
across the
the board,
board.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely the Constitution. Yeah, I'm going to make a note to research. Or if any of your viewers know of the birthday of the Constitution,
And we need the birthday and the time,
yeah,
or if there's a chart for the Constitution, right?
right.
So that is fascinating. So I think what I would suggest people to do, and I would love to hear your opinion too, is keep your head down this month. The thing I've told you for a while is, please, if the energy feels like weird or shaky or out of control
Mhm.
or buzzy, however you experience that, don't join that protest. Don't go down there. If you do join a protest in September, I would stay in the back. I would stay on the sides. I wouldn't be in the middle where I could be trapped.
Or
I
the
would be
front.
on the sides of
Yeah,
it. And I
yeah.
would know if you travel to a protest, you need to know those streets. You need to know this isn't a dead end, or this doesn't go.
Exactly. What's my
Right. You
exit
need to know
strategy?
how you're going to get out.
Yes.
Because the energy suggests that it's like this ball of kinetic energy gets
Mhm.
embedded into the people, and they are kinetic. They are unwildly, just no unpredictable. Just
Unpredictable.
1 minute, everybody's fine. The next minute, they just go berserk. They literally
Mhm.
go berserk. And
Yeah.
you're going to hear people use those words. I was standing there and then people went berserk. I don't know what happened to them.
Mhm.
Again, it's almost like something got dropped into their consciousness. And
Well, and I'm sorry, and we have to remember that this is happening at the same time as the eclipse. This
yes,
Mars Pluto is happening at the same time, so it's not an isolated, it's it's an awful lot of karmic
it's
energy.
intentional. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
pot is
very
boiling because it's been on a low
powerful.
simmer for too long,
Right.
right? That's what's happening, and now it's boiling, and now it's lancing the boil. The guides are saying
Okay.
this has been a low grade fever for too long, and now we need the fever to spike so that you can
Right.
break the fever.
Yeah,
This
lancing the
is
boil.
not
There's
bad. This
a lot
is
of ugly stuff in there.
it's
Ugh.
ugly stuff, but we
Yeah.
have to do it to get better,
Hmm.
right? So I think there could be, I'm feeling energy around Kent State. I've said this many times
Oh,
since
yeah.
last year. That's when National Guard
National
troops
Guard.
fired on citizens and
They were
actually
students,
students,
college students.
college students who were protesting peacefully.
Yeah.
Um, they're just there is a sense of this, clash,
Hmm.
and it doesn't break up. It's just like hits, right? So
Right.
hey, just be really careful. The good news is that on the other side of this, we have cosmic doorways we can walk through. We have
Mhm.
help. We have better days. This is the culmination,
This
I
is the
think.
culmination, the ending, the new beginnings. And I'm going to repeat that the United States has an oversoul. We have spirits on the other side of other presidents, other Supreme Court justices, presidents' wives that are working so hard to bring us to the other side as unscathed as we can be. We are going to be on the other side. I have absolutely no doubt that we're going to be okay at the end of this. The United States is going to be okay, better than okay.
And Karen would tell us, Karen and I are straight shooters. We're not people that bluff or fluff. We tell you what we really, first of all, we would be talking to you from Spain.
Yeah. Brush up
First
on my
off,
high school Spanish.
well, yeah, exactly. First of all of us seers and astrologers and intuitives, we would be leaving. And I'm not gonna lie, I've wanted to leave. It's been hard. This has been a hard time to be living. But this is for it's for our best. It's for our best. We're going to be able to pop this open and let all that toxicity out. We're going to see it. We're going to be grossed out by it. We're going to be enraged by it. Maybe that's the thing
Mhm.
that causes us that catalyst. And then on the other side of it, we have healing. That's why I think it's going to take us through the end of the year, not because we're going to be fighting through the end of the year, but because then you have that sense of you where you just want to you want to make up with each other.
Right.
You know that you've got to come to some kind of resolution with these
Mhm.
people, and you know that they're not the enemy. That's kind of what I'm seeing. You
Mhm.
know that all these people really and truly, we're on the same side. Neither one of us can afford our groceries, neither one of us can afford our medicine, neither one of us have a job. We're all on the same side, and we finally realize who the problem is, and it's not us, it's them.
Yeah. It's those guys. And I want to add to that, and this is a psychic census, and we've talked about this also before. This is old energy. This energy of domination and control and ruthlessness is old energy that's been part of the United States spiritual self since the beginning. And so they're not going to win.
So what is the new energy, right? That's what I want to know. Is
Right.
that the Pluto and Aquarius, power to the
That's the
people?
Pluto and Aquarius. That's the Neptune and Saturn and Aries. And the Uranus, when it goes back into Gemini in April, all of those, that's four planets, four of the big outer planets, which means it's a mass consciousness kind of change. Those are all beautifully sextile. A sextile is a beautiful, positive way that those energies are flowing together. And those are knowing who we really are, building a new foundation, innovating, making sure that it works for all of us. It's just all the way down the line. And that's all in 2026. So if I were talking to a client and I saw this happening, I'd be like, hey, but look what's happening after all these changes. You're free. You're solving problems. You're making all of us happy. You're making all of us more safe and secure.
And you feel more empowered. I feel like
Definitely
we're
feel
going
more
to feel more
empowered.
empowered. We're
Yeah.
going to feel understand our power, understand truly
Mhm.
how powerful we are. And that's going to just make us feel better. We're going to feel like that's never going to happen. What happened under that regime is never going to happen
Never
again.
going to happen again.
We literally said that no, that's never going to happen again because we know now. We know we have that kind of power.
Mhm. We've learned the lesson. And I think you've made a point over and over again that a big part of the lesson that we're learning is community. And I believe that that is I totally true. We have to reach out. We have to know that we have people in our corner. And I've been learning it personally, and I'm sure you have, I'm sure other people have. That's the big lesson. And some of these people that are helping me are, they're not Trump supporters, but they're not on the same page with me politically necessarily, but they're willing to go to bat for me if I need them. And it's like, that's what's important. The humanness.
Right. Right. That's exactly what we're learning. And I don't know how it's not going to be easy because there's bad blood. This is the Hatfields
Yeah.
and the McCoys right here. It's a bad blood.
Yeah. The
But
North and the South.
we're going to start somewhere. We need, there's really an opportunity for healing. They just say there's an opportunity for healing. And
Mhm.
think about it, the things we're trying to heal. This is how we're going to have to do it, is we're going to have to sit down with people that don't think like us or don't believe like
Mhm.
us and be human with each other, right?
Mhm.
Show each other that we're truly humans. We're not whatever we were made out to be, right?
Right.
I think if we can give peace a chance, if we can give that a chance,
Mhm.
I think it'll grow.
I think so too.
Because I don't see us being so black and white going into, I mean, of course, these outside forces are going to try. That's what
Yeah.
they've done. They've divided us. They've lied to those people and said, these people are like that. Those people are like that, right?
Mhm.
It's not true. They've been lied to. So I just don't, even though I see them trying to do it, I don't see them pulling it off.
It does exactly. And I think it started under Reagan with the welfare queen
Yes,
stuff. The narrative changed and it got mean and it got nasty after during Reagan
pejorative.
and after. And I don't think that's going to work so much anymore.
It's not because the MAGAs are the welfare queens,
They are the welfare queens. They're the
you
ones
know?
working at Walmart having to get food stamps because Walmart
Exactly.
doesn't pay them enough.
Exactly. Yeah, there's going to be some huge consciousness change, which is so awesome that in April we have all that sextiling energy to help us
Mhm.
like get clarity and kind of come together, right? And that
Right.
whatever happens between now and April, after April is when it's done. Like that's when these robber barons realize, I think, I really think between September and April, they still think they can maneuver or manipulate or make
Hmm.
deals. They don't realize yet that, sure, you folded this set of cards, but you're going to play
Hmm.
more games. I'm
Uh-huh.
going to win my money back, right? That's what they think. But
Hmm.
I think after April, they're like, yeah, I'm never getting that money back, right? I'm
Yeah.
now we're going to have all the things the socialist Democrats,
Hmm.
want to have. So it's really, there's so much good coming our way. We just need to really take care of ourselves and stay out of the way of this energy. If it's karma train is coming, don't get in front of it. Don't get in front of it. It's not your train. But if you put yourself in front of it, it will be your train.
It'll be your train. Yeah. Don't need it, don't want it.
No, we don't need that lesson. We don't, please
No.
don't ask for that lesson. The people that need it will get it. That those people that really need that, they came here, they incarnated here to be that spark, to be that flint, to be that activator that's out there, doing the thing.
Hmm.
That's what they incarnated to do. Maybe you didn't. So if you didn't incarnate to do that, then you incarnated to do something different, right?
Right. You're going on the wrong track if you're doing that.
Right, right.
And
And
we all
you'll
know what
know if
happens when
it's,
we go on the wrong track.
yeah, then you get up everybody else's lessons because they
Yeah.
become your lessons, right? So,
Yeah.
but you'll know if you're that person who just has to get in there and be physical at a
Hmm.
protest, you'll know that because that it'll just you won't even think about it, it'll just happen. But if you feel like I wanted to support them, I wanted to help them, and then I got drug into it, that's that's what I'm asking you not to do.
Right.
You're not supporting them. They're doing
Right.
their thing. You need to do your thing.
Right. Right. And at this time frame, it's like, you know what? Don't even. Don't even.
I wouldn't.
Don't even go
I
there.
don't know. I just wouldn't. And I maybe because my guides, I would be arrested. I would be 100% arrested uh
They'd be
under the
putting the
jail.
twist ties. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be under the jail. And my guides are like, please don't, Susan. This we
Don't do
got all
that
these
to
other
us. Yeah.
things. We got all these other things. You're supposed to be doing this stuff over here. Like if you get arrested, it's really gonna mess up our plans, you know?
We've helped you
So
set this up and you're gonna do this. Oh
yeah,
man.
exactly. So believe me, they won't even let me get. If I
It's
see
too
one
bad,
ice
because
person
they
grab
really
somebody,
can't quit.
I promise you, I will jump on their back. I will be on their head.
Mhm.
I know myself. I've already done it.
Mhm.
So they're like, we're just going to keep her at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
not my thing. It's not my. It was past lives. It was my
Hmm.
thing. That's why I'm so triggered by it. I'm
Hmm.
triggered by it.
Hmm.
I want to just, injustice makes me want to go berserk, right?
Yep.
So you have to own that you feel like this. I want to do it, but you also have to know, what am I here to do in this life, right? Like I'm not this, I want to do it. That's your South Node. I came
Hmm.
from it, feels familiar, feels like I should do it. But your North Node is new and it's not, doesn't feel like something you're familiar with, but
Exactly.
that's where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one of those stories. I was hugely pregnant with my son in the car with my husband at the time and my son's father. And there was a bunch of kids. We were in the car on the street, bunch of kids bullying an old man in the car next to us.
Oh no.
And this is long before cell phones, you guys. So long before cell phones. And I'm like, I'm getting steamed. And we come to a stoplight, lights red, and I got my hand on the handle of the door, and my husband goes, "Where do you think you're going?" You know, my belly's out to here, and it's icy out there. It's wintertime. And he
Oh.
goes, "Where do you think you're going?" I'm like, "I'm going to tell those kids." And he's like, "No, you're not. Put your hand back in your lap." But yeah, you don't, you just,
You snap. You're
yeah.
like, and that's maybe what's going to happen. Like what we're talking
Mhm.
about. All these people are going to snap and be like activated and ready to go, ready to
Mhm.
just rabble rouse or maybe go too far. I don't know. Um,
Yep. Yep.
it's not going to be pretty. I think the government is going to suffer. I think whoever stands against these people is going to suffer. I think the people are going to pay a price, but I think the government and whoever, whatever that is going to pay a bigger price.
Hmm. Yep.
You
I
know,
agree with that. Yeah, I
so I
agree.
don't, it's not going to go, it's not repression. I'm telling you, they can't repress us. If they knock down three of us, 25 will stand up. That's just the energy. It's
Yeah.
what I see. So that's when they're like, whoa, okay, let's make a deal, right? Like, so
We
yeah,
won the Revolutionary War.
yeah,
It's the
that's
biggest
kind of
army on the earth.
right. And you want to control us, but you can't. So
Yeah.
you have to, they have to learn their lesson. That's
Hmm.
their lesson, right? So
Exactly. They have to learn their lesson. Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on,
Oh,
Karen. I really appreciate
thanks
it.
for having me. I really love coming on, and this, I did the research on this and I thought, whoa, we need to talk about this. We need to put this out there. So thanks for letting me do that.
You're so welcome. And we didn't even get to talk about JD, but let's just say briefly that so we feel like FDT could or whatever you want to call him could stroke out or he could be gone in
Mhm.
incapacitated. The guides are saying incapacitated. Now that to me
Mhm.
means he's alive, but he's not able to
He
be,
can't function.
he can't function. That's the 25th
No.
Amendment right there.
Yes.
So then everybody feels something different about JD. Some people say he's never going to take. I saw him being granted this crystal thing, and he went to
Mhm.
grab it, and it just dissolved. It just literally just dissolved, and he was
Mhm.
grabbing air. So I don't know if he's going to get that role, or if something happens to him, or if he gets the role. I feel like what that does, because I always like look at the energy and I try to see what is the energy trying to do? What are
Mhm.
what are we trying to learn here? Why is this happening? Right? That's how I always look at everything. So if he gets the role, what they're trying to do, what the lesson is he's so cold-hearted. He's so just also out to lunch. He doesn't, he's not a bully. He's not vindictive,
he's not connected to
but he's not
anybody.
going to do anything either. Right?
No.
So he's going to be just calloused. And so that teaches us further the lesson of uncaring, right? We think about the CEO that doesn't care that you're not getting your cancer treatment, or you're not, or the politician who doesn't care that you're not getting your disability or Social Security or your SNAP.
Yeah,
This
the
is what
CEO
I
of
think.
BP Oil who went on a weekend retreat, some vacation when we had that huge oil spill. He
Oh,
was
yes.
he was out to lunch.
Yes. Ted Cruz, who left Houston when we
Yeah,
were
Ted
all
Cruz. Oh.
experiencing freezing temperatures. So
Mhm.
this might be what snaps people is JD just being so, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I care.
he doesn't care. There's no energy in the chart for him to be a leader of a nation. There's just no energy there for it. He's got his own energy, which is um,
It's
slimy
terrible.
and sinister. But I don't see him being a leader for very long. Or he's a leader for a short amount of time, but there's no power there. He can't threaten people. He says something and people just go, no, not doing that.
Right. Right. And whatever bad thing you can say, which you can say a lot of bad things about him, but whatever you say about Trump, he gets on there and he cajoles. He's like, oh, but and then I did he smooths it over with his
Mhm.
smarmy sort of rhetoric.
Yeah.
Vance is not going to do that. Vance is not going to come out and say, oh, but I did the best thing for you. He's going to say, what's the problem? They had a hurricane. They're just going to have to pick themselves up. He's going to
Right.
be very just nonchalantly cold and calloused. And that's
Hmm.
different.
Hmm.
That's a different energy. And I'm telling you, Americans are going to take him out. If he doesn't go one way, he'll be 86th. He'll be impeached.
Exactly. He has no fans. I mean, there are people, the MAGA people, they love Trump because he tells them what they want to hear. Vance isn't going to tell people what they want to
No,
hear.
exactly what I tried to say, but you said it more eloquently.
Yeah.
Exactly. He doesn't care what you want to hear. He
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Yeah. He'll
He
just
thinks
be
you're nobody and nothing, and he doesn't have to do anything to please you. Whereas Trump understands it's a game, it's a
right.
show, right? And they
Mhm.
come for the show. Vance is just
Yes.
going to stand there and just be like,
What is your
who
problem?
cares? What's the
Yeah.
problem, right? So I think we're going to be so toasted by the time we get on the other side of DJT
Mhm.
that we're just not going to put up with Vance. We're just not. We're just going to be like, no, 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 no. Um, and I really think we might have an election in 26, a presidential election, perhaps along with the midterms,
Oh,
because we already have the infrastructure to do the election,
uh-huh. Right.
right? So it would be a natural opportunity to say, we're going to just do it. And
Wow. Okay.
that's what
I
I've been
will look
feeling
for that.
lately.
I will look for that.
Yeah, that's what I've been feeling lately. And I think that Kamala Harris would not want to be put in the White House. I think that for so many reasons, I don't think she would want that.
Hmm.
I
She feel
I think
like it's a consolation prize and she's
yeah, it's a crappy one, right? Like
yeah.
here's this country that's been burned down to the ground since the last time you were in the Oval Office. And
Hmm.
would you like it to help us? No. No, thank you. I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
And then two, there's too much backfighting in the Democratic Party about they want energetically, I think they just want to put a man in there because they just want the country to come together and they want to stop having any kind of reason for people to be infighting. Black woman,
Hmm.
obviously, maybe we're not ready for that. I think opposite. I think we were ready. We did vote her in. It did happen, but
Hmm.
and people will just the racists will just have to get over it. But next thing we need to be looking at is So if there is some sort of primary situation, which they wanted to happen, they
Right.
didn't want to give it to Kamala Harris. They wanted a snap primary, which was stupid because that's the last thing we needed, was to divide us into 6 different candidates at the last minute. But I think that next year we could have a primary in June or July. I feel like even.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah. Look at it and we'll come back and we'll compare notes.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Again, check out Karen's her YouTube, Little Blue Lotus Astrology. If you're interested in her website, it's littlebluelotus.org. Again, she's booked up to the 12th of Never. But you know, she came on to help us because she really wanted to share this interesting news about the eclipses, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you, Susan.
Are so welcome. You guys all take really good care of yourselves. We're going to get through this, and guess what? We're going to get through it together. This is an amazing community we have here on YouTube. Might I remind you, that came together because of him. None of us were on YouTube before he walked down that escalator and became, you know, the bane of our existence, right? So we are now here together, and there's more of us joining all the time, right? So we've got this community. We'll get through this together. So take really good care of yourself. Just want to let you know that you are invited to join my community. I have been blessed and honored to create this community where thousands of people have joined and spend every day communicating with each other, supporting each other, sharing their stories. It is a safe place for you to find like-minded people. It is not Facebook. It is not Meta. It is completely separate from all of those other types of online spaces. This is a private space that I pay for, and I've created just for you and for me too, right? Because I'm in there as well. If you want to hang out with me, if you want to get readings from me, if you want to learn from me, this is really a place that you can do that for a very reasonable price of only $12 a month. All of the things that we do, all of the classes and the readings are recorded. There's a library of all the recordings. So even if you join today, you'd be able to benefit from all of those things that have been done in the past. You get access to everything. As I said, there are thousands of people in this community, and you can be as active as you want or as inactive. You can be the lurker. You can just hang out and just read the post, or perhaps you're inspired one day and you really want to share and get that feedback and that support. It's up to you. This community was made for you by me. You can learn more about it at susanlynnmedium.com, and we would love to have you join us. Next up, I want to tell you about a class that I'm teaching with my good friend Afefe Tahimba. It is called Embodying the Phoenix, Rebirth After Loss or Change. This is an online class, and you might be thinking, well, I haven't had loss and this isn't really for me, but I'm here to tell you that 2025 is an endings and beginnings year. We are all obviously dealing with change through our political systems. Wherever you live, this is a year of change. Afefe and I got together and thought, what can we do to help people? People are really struggling right now. And that's when it came to us, the idea of the phoenix, because we know we're going to come out the other side of this just like the phoenix does. Just like the mythical phoenix, we are called at times to walk through the fire of loss, of endings, of transformation. In these moments, the old version of us is asked to burn away so something truer, wiser, and more radiant can rise in its place. We want to help you be ready to do this. We're going to teach you that endings are sacred beginnings in disguise, and that renewal requires release. We're going to teach you very practical things that you can use in your practical human life to expand, to transform, to come out the other side of this bigger and better and just happier, more settled, more centered in your own true identity. This is an online class. It is only $33, and it is September 27th on a Saturday, and you will get a recording. So if you can't make the class, you can always join us and purchase the ticket, because you know that you're going to get the recording. You'll get the recording. You can watch it anytime you want. So I hope that you think about joining us on this online class. Afefe and I, Susan Lynn, have taught thousands of people. We are really well-respected teachers. We find that people enjoy our classes, and that's why our classes routinely sell out, right? Plus, we've worked really hard to keep the prices reasonable, to keep the time that's required to attend our classes reasonable. We just want to help people, and we want to give you those tools in a quick, effortless way that you can pick them up and go on about your life and plug them in and use them. So if you're interested in this class, Embodying the Phoenix, Rebirth After Loss or Change, please check out my website, SusanLynnMedium.com. You'll see events, click that. You'll be able to get your tickets. Again, it's Saturday, September 27th. It's in the middle of the day. I believe it's at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. But you can learn all the details at my website. I hope to see you there. I'm so excited for my third annual Connect to Empower event. My first ever Connect to Empower was in Chicago. My second last year Connect to Empower was in Denver. This year we are going to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it truly is one of my favorite places to visit. It is such a mystical, magical place. And I couldn't wait to be able to host my third annual Connect to Empower in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We are going to be gathering November 13 through 15, 2025 at the Drury Inn in Santa Fe. And I am going to be there with you. Well, I hope you join us, but I'm going to be there with you and 5 other psychics. That's a total of 6 psychics. We are going to be helping you. We are going to be creating community. We are going to be transforming. You might be noticing a theme here about transformation. Well, 2025 is certainly a year that invites us to transform. I mean, have you ever sensed there's more to you just waiting to emerge? Do you get a sense that you're changing, that you're transforming, and you're just not sure what is the next step? How do I do it? I sure wish I could find people like me. I sure wish I could find some mentors. This event is for you if that is the case. We are going to be there 3 days. We are going to be transforming within 25 hours of healing, intuition, breakthroughs. We're going to have small group classes. We're going to have large group classes. We're going to have events. We're going to have activities. It's not just to sit in a chair and be bored as speakers rotate around the stage. Nope, we're not going to be doing that. We are going to be immersed in the actual learning of the tools that these fellow psychics, mediums, healers, shamans, priestesses, that are my friends, that are my colleagues, that are people that you've seen on YouTube, people that you know, are going to be helping you with your own personal transformation. I hope you'll be interested in joining us. You can find out more about it on SusanLynnMedium.com. What if 2025 is your year to step boldly into your soul's brightest light? We are all gathering together to do it, to support each other, to walk towards the light together. Again, you can learn more about it at SusanLynnMedium.com. Take really good care. Thank you so much for listening and watching and supporting me on my life journey, on my soul path. I can't tell you how honored I am to be joining you during this time.